Okay, chalo. We'll do this for the day. If you guys don't like it, just tell me. You guys are not responding. It feels so awkward. It feels like talking to walls. Hmm. Anyways, just throw this node mon. Okay. We'll just say nodemon app.js. Okay. For now, you guys don't know what nodemon is, so let's just stop it. We will say node app.js, and this is how you run your node files. I told you guys yesterday. So you see, it says this is 1, 2, and 3. Now, in a normal flow of statements, this should follow the top-down approach regardless of what is being printed. So 1, 3, and 2. But what if we put in something over here that takes time? Let's say we want to make an API call, and it will take 3 seconds. So let's just do that for now. Set timeout, and then inside this will pass 2 seconds. So 1000 milliseconds. So 2 seconds. And over here we'll pass in a function. It will say console log. This was printed after 2 seconds. Okay. So now once I save this and run our node app.js again, it stops in this way and it gets printed after 2 seconds. Okay. So if I change this to 3, now it should print it after 3 seconds. Okay. Yeah, you see, it says it was printed after 3 seconds. But regardless of it being in the 10th line, in the between, so over here, if you see, this is 1, then there's 2, 1, 2, and then we have an API call that is this one, and then this is 3. But instead of stopping and waiting, it just prints this is 3 over there. Okay, and then it should be printing this is this was print, then it should be printing this is 3. But instead of that, it just prints this was printed after 2 seconds. Okay, so that is getting printed out after 2 seconds. So this is what asynchronous JavaScript does for you. All right. So first we used to have something known as callback health, and how you used to do that was you would call in a function. So we will say uh, const do this. Okay, and then it would be a function, and it will do, just put a comment over here, and it will do something. Okay. uh okay, that syntax is wrong. Right, so over here we will just say when we want to call it, we will just say 2 days. uh, okay, so now we will say to this, and since this will be returning us something, and then we want to work with that data, you couldn't say something like uh, const await, like that. First we had to do something like const do this. uh, so let's just say anything like a variable and equals to do this, and then we pass in the function parameters. So it will take in a param. Okay. All right, so this takes in a parameter, and then we will pass in a function like this again, which will do something again, and then we will pass in another parameter to this guy, and then we will say uh, we will just say this thing again and again. So let's just put a comma over here. All right, so once you start, okay, so once you have a lots of data, what you will start to do is start to notice is it starts to become a triangle, something we know as a callback hell. So as long as you are working with that data, you have to work with this somehow, and then just make this big triangle. And if you have a code that is going like this, you should know that something is wrong and you should be fixing it. So for that, what we have is the fetch API. Okay, so fetch API, what it does is it gets data for you, and then it allows us to use the .then method. So right now we will go back to our JSON placeholder typego.com, and you see it just says .fetch, right? So we will say we will just okay. So now it says fetch from here, and then go to the to dos, and then from then response.json, and then your JSON is console log JSON. Okay. So if I save this and go to app.js, it says fetch is not defined. This is because you cannot use fetch directly inside Node.js. It requires a document model. So right now what we will do is create a new file, and we'll call it index.html. Okay? And then let's just create our basic HTML file. So let's just call it fetch docs, and inside h1 we'll put check the console for logs. Okay, and over here we will just put in a script. So this script will say something like this. So it will say fetch, and then this is your type code. So it will fetch data from here, and then you we can work with data. So whatever this fetches over here, we will say .then, and then after that you will say you will pass in a parameter. Now this response is anything you can say, but I usually like to call it res. Okay, so we will just say res.json. Okay, everybody calls it res. It is just short and far better for people to understand. So once we open it up in browser, you see it says check console for logs, and when you go to, sorry, not to page source, inspect element, let's make this bigger. You see it gets us some data. Now we can do we can just pass in the data over here, and see we have lots of data now. Okay, what about errors then? It will give us this, and if we go to the network tab over here and you check this, it says status code 404. Okay, so that is how your fetch API works. It just makes things far better and quicker. Let me show you an example of real world. Okay, so I should be having it somewhere. Okay, so this is global new data streams. Hmm. Well, this is JSON file, this is docs and important files. Okay, let's just open this file right now over here. Hmm. So we have src./app.js. Yes, you see we have this function right here. I have created this, and I came here specifically for these three JSONs. Okay, so what we are going to do is create a new folder. I'll stop this for now. New folder JSON, and then inside this I will just paste the file so that we can see about the how to work around with this, and we will just say script src equals to app.js. Okay, and inside this we will start writing our script. So I did copy that. Now this is your JSON file. Okay. Hmm. So we want to start working with our Fetch API. So let me just show you this, how we deal with status, response dot status and all. So for now, we have seen that in our index, in our network tab, if we, okay, why did I copy paste this now? Okay, we don't need this actually, we need this guy. I'm sorry for copying that. Yeah. Okay, we can work with this also now that we have our own JSON. So these are just JSONs that have three names inside them. Shiv has one name, Kohli has one name, and this is the names of batch of the students. So we just created that for them. Okay. So right now, if you see there is a spelling mistake over here, that is Kohli.json. Okay, and there is a new error over here. So that has been done intentionally just to show that we can work with error codes. Okay, so once I go over here and go to a network tab, it should be working. Well, it does not work. Chalo. Hmm. Why it does not work right now? Hmm. Well, this is not something we want to work with. Well, this is something we want to work with. Now, also it does not work. That is a bad stuff. Okay, why is it not working? Hmm. Is it some problem inside the script or something? Okay, so script has not been attached to the index.html page part. Oh yeah, it should say SRC, right? So that is a problem. That was the, yeah, you see it says couldn't fetch data at app.js 6 and it says a cross. And when you go to the network panel, it will show a 404 not found. Okay, so let's just stop opening that again and again. And if you see, we say can't fetch data, it shows a nice new error for us. If we change this, we will just say only JSON not found. And once you go over there, not resolved, it's an error. And if I just add a k over here, hmm, so our s was also there extra. Okay, so right now we just handle an error over here, and then it is not supposed to say anything now. You stop coming up. It just says HTR, so that was something that I checked. Did to check that. Okay, so now if we have status code is not equal to 200, JSON was not found. Okay, so I just put in 200 over here. There are so many other status codes that you should know. So right now, if I go to Google and let's just go to status codes, I will prefer Mozilla right now. So yeah, we have HTTP status codes. So these codes are something that you can use anything you want, but there are something standards. So for information responses, that is something like the browser should know, or for web developer who is watching inside the backend, he should know we use the 100 part. And then for successful stuff, we have 200. And then so 200 stands for okay, 201 stands for created, 2024 accepted, and then 203 for non-authoritative information, like that, all of these things. Then for redirects we have 300. So from 300 to 399 you can use form redirect, but the one we will be using was uh, we will be using a 302 and 301, I guess. Okay, for just our redirects. And then you have your famous ones, 404 not found, the one that we generally use in memes and all. So these are things that you should know. And while handling errors, you are supposed to send status codes to the browser so that the browser knows what to do with do next. Okay, so that is just some of your status codes. Okay, so okay, so the second way is to use asynchronous functions. Okay, well, this is just an old method, and if you have lots of work, then what you will end up is doing creating a lots of dot then, and then you will do something like you don't need this, right? So let's just remove the lots of dot thens, okay? And we will just say do something over here for now. All right, so we will just say do something, and once this starts getting big it will just look trash and you don't want to deal
Hello,
with it. Yes.
hello, sir. Sorry to interrupt. Your pace is too fast, sir.
I was just typing in stuff, so don't worry about that. Okay, so this thing that I did was I just copy pasted it. Okay, don't worry. I will go slow. Thanks for
Okay,
the information. Okay.
okay, sir.
Okay, so once you start working with dot dens a lot, okay, so you have data, then you say dot den, and inside den you will say do something. Okay, so we will just say do something. And like that only, if you have many of the dens, then it will look bad. So we have something known as an asynchronous functions. So now we will say const data equals to uh, get data equals to async. Then we will create an arrow function for the same, and we will say const data equals to await. That's all. You don't have to use anything like dot then and then all that trash stuff that we were using. There are still other ways to do it. Like if I go ahead and show it to you, so this is streams. This is there are many other stuff that I really need to show you guys, but we don't have that much time because we have to complete a lot with that also. So I can't seem to find it right now. So I will just show you this way of doing it. Okay. All right, chalo. So let's just we'll say fetch. Yeah, ये क्या आ गया? It is just for my reference. Okay. So that is dot slash you have JSON, and then out of that Kohli dot JSON. Okay. So now once you get the data, you can just start working with the data because you have your data and whatever you want you can do with it, and it will look far more cleaner instead of doing fetch and then after that fetch something and then dot then after that you have dot then. It just looks far cleaner than that. So right now, instead of writing the 1,000 lines of code, you can do it in 3 lines of code. And if you go to this page, okay, right now it does not say anything for us. So what is the problem? Yeah, we need to call get data, right? So that we can start working with it. Yeah, you see it gives us a response. So this is something that we are wanting. So it gives a status of 200, then the headers and all. Okay. So and then you can say, mm, what you can do is just line up lots of them, and then you can say await fetch, and inside that fetch you can just pass in dot slash json, and then slash muzammil dot json. The second benefit of this is in your dot den method. So if you were to say dot den, and then there is another dot den, and then there is another dot den, if there is an error inside one of the dens, it will just stop your program from moving forward, and it will just go to the error. So you will have a catch block, and inside that you will have an error, and you will just say console log error or whatever you are doing with error. So right now, even if one of them fails, it they will just go on and continue. So if I say shift.json over here, okay, so mm, there's the console log data, and we will call this guy again. So that you see assignment to constant variable. Yeah, let's just say let. Now it should, you see, even though uh, okay, it did not continue. Well, that should not happen, but there are workarounds for things like that, because yeah, we have kept it to data only. So you can just say let new data, okay, and then let's say let second data equals to, and out of this then what we'll say is second data and also new data. Okay, so right now you see we do get four responses. No, that is three responses only. Let me just refresh this page for you. Yeah, okay, so it did not stop our code actually at this time, because we did uh, move it to uh, I don't want to see this again. Chalo. We moved it to new data. Okay. So right now if you see this data, we have headers in this, we have headers in this, all these files, and it handled the status also for us. So it says status 200, so it means okay. Then we have status 400, and then we have status 200. So over here our program was not interrupted. The same thing if you try to do with dot, then our program would have been interrupted. So that is the benefit of using an uh, this asynchronous functions. Okay, so that does it for the day. uh, and actually we are going to start with modules in node.js and all. So let's just delete this. Don't want to delete this now. Mm, okay, what I want you guys to do right now is we will create a new file. Okay, not this. We'll just save it as test.js, and I will just copy down a question for you, and I want you guys to interact with each other and solve that question. So please wait for 2 minutes. I will just copy paste the question. Okay, so yeah. mm, 5 2 and say the same. Okay, so uh, we will do this and then let's do something different. So this is 4 and this is 1 and then this is 7. So this is your question now. I will start the screen share. Okay. Okay, you guys can see my screen now, right? It should be visible. Let's just close all this. We don't want WhatsApp. Close that also. Yeah. So your question over here is we want to make a package of goal of kilos of chocolate. We have small bars and big bars. We have to write a function make chocolate. Okay, so this is your functions. All right. Let me just colorize this, guys. Okay, so now it says write a function make chocolate as mentioned below such that it returns the number of small bars to use. Assuming we always use big bars. So if you have 5 bars of big chocolate, 2 bars of small chocolate, and you want to make a chocolate of 10, so it will use only 2 big bars. Your priority should be always use big bars first. Let's not say bars of chocolate, we will use weight. Okay, so big bar, and then there should be a function that says make chocolate big bar weight and then small bar weight. Okay, so you have a 5 over here and then there's a 2 over here. So 5 is your big bar weight and 2 is your small bar weight, and the total weight should be 9. So this is your question and this is your answer. I want you to figure out the code in between. Okay, so please unmute yourself and start directing me on what should I do right now. Okay, so let's just start with the basic. We will create a function that says make chocolate, and inside that we will pass in, so we have something that says big bar small bar weight and all that. Okay, uh, we need to pass in this, and then we will just say make chocolate. So this is our, like, let's just remove this 3 guys from the comments. Okay, and then we will remove this also, this also. Okay, so you guys can hear me, right? Start directing me how to do this thing, solve this question right now. Come on, it is fun to solve this question. These all questions are being asked in the interview, and also you guys should know how to do these things. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, then please solve this question if you can hear me. See, this is the question right here. Read it. I will make it bigger for you. Okay, and start solving it. Tell me what should I do first. What will be the logic used? How should I check that if there is a total weight of 7, I need 7 kg of chocolate, then and I have 4 kg of big bar weight, and then 1 kg is a small bar weight. How many small bars and big bars should I be using? Anybody over here? See, if you don't answer this now, you have to learn to think also. Just learning Node.js coding and all that things, that is not important. Anybody, please? At least tell me that you can console log the data back to the Node module. If you guys are comfortable with any other language also, I can do that too. We can work with some other language. You don't have to use anything big. All you have to do is some basic math calculation like subtraction, division, and you get the answer. You don't need to know Node.js, you don't need to know React, you don't need to know Next, you don't need to know Shopify, you don't need to know Apollo and all. Just use basic operations over here. At least tell me the idea that we will work with. अगर आप कोडिंग नहीं करते होते तो फिर आप लोग क्या करते होते? अगर ये ऐसा प्रॉब्लम आता तो मैथ्स में क्या करते तुम लोग? टीचर पूछती है ना, इसके पास इतने चॉकलेट थे, उसको इतने दिया तो फिर उसके कितने बचे, तो वैसा कुछ तो भी बताओ मुझे, क्या दिमाग लगाओगे? एनीथिंग? मधु, यू कैन हियर मी, प्लीज आंसर.
Yes, sir. So 1 minute, I'm understanding the question.
Okay, I will just hold it like this, please understand it. Okay, Pawan says we can add, what did he say? We can add big and small and check with it again. Sir, you're too fast. Yeah, Pawan did say this, right? Okay, yes. Teja, what do you want me to repeat? Teja? Okay, she's not here. Pawan, okay, you said we can add, okay, about fetch. All right, so let's just solve this question first, then we will do that. We can add big and small and check with goal. Okay, we can add big and small. But if you add 5 and 2, that does not give you 9. If you add 9 with 5, it will just, uh, what you will do with that? I don't get it.
Sir,
Unmute yourself now. Yeah, yeah. Say.
sir, if we multiply both of them, then and see and check with the goal. If it is
Hmm.
equal, then we will assign 0, or if it is not equal, then we can assign 2.
No, no, you are not understanding. You see, if I say 17 over here, then the answer will be 1. See, you will be using 4 bars of big chocolate, which is a 4 kg. So 4 4 are 16, and then you will add 1 over here. Add 1 bar of small chocolate, so that will give you 17. Now I just told you guys the answer, how you have to solve it. So over here, if you see, if you take 2 big bars of uh, chocolate, then you don't need to use small bars of chocolate, so it will be 0. And over here, if you have to make 9 kg of chocolate, then you can take just uh, one bar of big chocolate and 2 bars of small chocolate. That is why the answer is 2. You don't have to multiply with anything. This is basic division question, guys. Come on. Anyone else about fetch? Okay, nothing has been posted. Okay, I will just show you how to do this one. But I will recommend you guys to find questions on the internet and try and solve them yourselves. That will improve your critical thinking skills and all. There are many questions. You don't have to do coding questions only. You can do many, like you have the question about if you just go to YouTube now and just type in interview questions, interview questions. Okay, so over there you have many things. You see like this only. We have an ad right now. You see, this is a question: 4 bottles of milk, 1 bottle is poisonous. Like this only questions also will do. But please start to learn to think instead of first learning about programming. Okay, so I will show you how to do this. So the question says that we have small bars and big bars. Okay, let's just all get it. Yeah, so it says we want to make a package of gold kilos of chocolates. We have small bars and big bars, so our function takes in big bar weight and small bar weight. Write a function that makes chocolate as mentioned below. Okay, let's just remove this. Okay, such that it returns the number of small bars to use, assuming we always use big bars before small bars. Okay, so maximum amount of big bars should be used. Well, now what you will do is uh, okay, sorry, I had an alarm that just went off, I don't know why. Okay, so what you will do is you will start by checking if that uh, only big bars can be used to make the chocolate. So you will say if, then you will put the syntax of if. So that the way you will check it is you will divide big bar weight by goal. So if I just type in big bar weight divided by goal, and it should return to you 0. You will just say console log. We will console log for now, then we will see about return. Okay, we will just say no small bars are required. Okay, so let's just go to type in node test.js. Okay, it just does not return anything. Okay, let's just see this now. Hmm, at least this is working. Yeah, it does work. It works 3 times as well. Chalo. So we will put this over here and open it in command prompt. So this is this side, and I will just, don't worry about what I'm doing right now. Okay. Okay, chalo. So how you are going to work with this is you will check if your big bar weight percent goal equals to is equal to 0. So if you have, that just makes it unable to be not readable, right? I guess, yeah, let's just remove all this stuff from here that we don't need. We will just put in big, small, and then it says, let's just remove this also. Okay. Okay, so now this is a bit readable. Okay, chalo. Now, see if we have big bar weight percent goal is equals to 0. Let's just console log how does it look like. Okay, so this should not say like this. Okay. Mm, right, it says 5 and 4. Let's just try this. Now it should say, okay, it does not go to 0. Yes, goal should be before big bar. Sorry. So that was a syntax error. My bad. So it should say big bar. So now if I run it, it says 1.82 and this. And we don't need the quotient, we need the remainder. So we'll say percent. We should know that percent returns us the remainder. Okay. So now if you see over here, we are getting 0. So if your this is true, then let's just switch this guy goal percent big bar. Okay. And now if I run this, let me just clear the air for you. We'll just say note. You see it says no small bars are required. Let's just remove this console log. Okay. Now the next thing you will do is else if this does not meet, so you have a remainder of 4 over here, you have a remainder of 3. What you will do is uh, small bars. Now we know that we have a remainder of 3, and out of that 3 we have to distribute it among the among small bars. So small bars equals to goal. Then we need that remainder again. So goal underscore big bar. Okay. And we will have to divide that among the number of small bars. So we will say small bar. Okay. And we will just console log small bars right now. Okay. So now if I save this and run this again, you see it says 2 and it says 3 over here. And that is exactly what we needed. Okay. So actually this also should be 3. I put in 2 over there. That is my mistake. All right. So you guys can see that it works as it is intended to work. So if I put in 15 over here now, it should not work actually. It says we will be requiring 5 of them, but that is not supposed to be possible because mm, you can't have total weight of a big bar greater than your goal weight. So we will add uh, another logic. Okay, we'll get console log, uh, and inside this we will say big bar is greater than goal, or small bar is greater than goal. We'll say console log improper amount of bars. Okay. So now it says properly improper amount of bars, but it still works its way down there. So we need to stop running of this function. So we'll just say return. Okay. And then uh, yeah, now it does work for us properly. Now it says that there is improper amount of bars and all. And if we save this again, it should work. No small bars are required. All right, we needed output in forms of zeros and ones. So we will, what we'll do is, instead of putting this over here, we'll just put in a 0. Guess what? We'll just put this in right here. And since we are not using small bars again and again, we will just remove this. We will control X this guy and paste it in over here, and let's just remove this. Now also this code should work. Always remember, you want to make your code as small as possible. Okay. All right, so now you want to, so that is how you do this question. I will be sending you one more question because I want you guys to start solving this type of logical structures and all, because right now you guys did not even answer this very small question, and this is from my little sister's textbook. Okay, I just picked it up from there and I typed it out in a word file and just copy pasted for you. So please learn to think also. Instead of just learning to code, learning to code won't take you anywhere unless you know how to think, because in machine learning and all, won't be sitting around and using if else. That will take years of coding and all, and so many if, and then there are many other algorithms and structures that you will need to learn. All right. So uh, well, what we were doing is, Teja wanted to know about our fetch API, right? Chalo. So Teja, what part of fetch API were you asking? Teja. Yeah. So okay, I deleted everything. Okay, I have an old file, so we will work with that only. So what is that new folder? Okay. Because if I have the code, I know what to explain. Instead of typing in the code, what that does, it just uh, make me also get confused. Okay. So please forgive me for that. Let's see if I have a very bad code. Did not exist text edit. This is something we don't need. So this is also an empty file. Hmm. Okay, none of this makes sense. Okay, so let's just start with this right now. Okay, so right now instead of going through the entire process of fetching an API from internet, what we have done is created a folder known as JSON. So let me just rename it to JSON right now. Okay, and we will just remove this also. And we have this index.html, and I will open this with the live server so that we can see this. And it is black over white because it just respects the dark mode, and which is very useful. You should know that when you are reading text on white background, so your text is black and background is white, it just decreases your productivity by almost 100%. So make sure that whatever you are coding and all, you are doing it on a dark background like this. Okay, so right now let's just forget about this part. You have your fetch API. You have to say fetch and then the link. So our current link is json poly.json. Okay, and we want to work with this. So response dot status is equal to 200. We will just say console log response. Okay, now we want to know that whether this exists or not, because we have poly.json. So you don't want to uh, have some wrong data. So now if we have poly.json, it should not give us any errors. So right now if I go to this page, you see it gives us a response over here, and if I refresh this, yeah, it gives us an error. So this is 200 and then the text is okay. If I go back over here and just misspell it, so it is supposed to say KOLLI, it says OLLI. So that is a mistake and it won't be able to find this file. Okay, so it says not resolved error, can't fetch data at app.js4, and it gives us an error at this point. All right, so once you are not able to fetch data, so that is why we are saying dot catch and then catch error. So this catch error comes from this throw new error. It just works like a return function. Return function we just used in bar.js, that making our small code that we did just now. So instead of saying return new error, we say throw new error. So this is like error handling practice for you. You should understand this also right now. So this is your console log response. So it says if at any point in your code there is an error, it will stop the execution and go to this error part and over here. And also in this error part, if you see that if I save this, even though it says not resolved error and then says can't fetch data, and then this line is not from our code, this is from the live server that we use. Okay, so you see it says navigated to, this is a live server that is injecting code for us instead of us having to refresh the page again and again. Okay, so once this is not found also, you can go to the network tab. Sorry, not the performance, the network tab, and then over here there is a red file and it says status code 404 not found. All right, so that is your error. And the second thing that I told you guys about error is uh, we went to http response status codes. These are the codes that you use to handle errors. So if you want to say that this is an information, so you will say 100, 101, 102 is processing the information, 103 will say okay, so this is a link just hinting the browser about what to do next. And then successful responses use 200 201, so that is 200 to 299. And then you have redirection messages, so that is 300 to 399. Okay, so these are just some of them you need to know. And then you have 400, that is client error responses, that is not found or something that you did. 402 is for payment. There's supposed to be one more. So yeah, you have lots of 400. Yeah, the server error responses, these are the servers that, these are the errors that happen on your server. So 500, 501, 502, this all are the errors that happen on your server. So that is what I was telling. Understood now, Teja? Okay, you understood, sir. Chalo, thank you very much. Okay, that wraps our today's lecture. Okay, and we will also stop recording. I will be sharing today's recording with you on a Google Drive folder. I will create one for you, like the one I have created for the other class. Okay, Adu left. ठीक है, चलो. Bye everybody. Have a nice day.
Sir,
Yes.
can you change the timing, sir?
Oh yes, I forgot about that. Uh, Sunita did not join today, so I guess you will have to bear with it tomorrow also. She just, what do we do then? What other time are you guys comfortable with? 4 to 5 only?
Sir, 4 to 5 is better, sir. 5 to 6
But
means it's very difficult for us, sir.
why? What do you do at 5 to 6?
5 to 6 is the time we relax and we enjoy the weather. So many things, sir.
Yeah, I understand that we go out to play and all.
Yes, sir. We are attending online classes from morning, sir. So we need to relax at this time only, sir.
Okay. Uh, till the exams are over, we will have to do this only because 2 to 3. 2 to 3. I will have to see about that also. Mm, all right, we will see about that. Okay. Sunita is not here. Even Madhu left.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, I will update you guys inside the group. Please discuss it amongst yourself also. You guys can initiate conversations amongst yourself also. There is no issues with that. Just don't share, like, there are people who share clothing items that they are to sell or promoting their things. You can promote your YouTube channel. I 100% allow it. You can promote your Insta or WhatsApp. You don't promote your WhatsApp. You can promote your Facebook and all. Okay. But don't start selling stuff inside the group. Okay, just make sure that you do that one thing and do not abuse inside the group. Just whatever talks you want to do, good morning, good night, that also is not allowed. Just all talks are allowed. Okay. ठीक है, चलो. Bye everybody, have a nice day. चलो, bye.